In this Star Wars Gaming news update video, I will be sharing with you an update on the KOTOR Remake, plus we have a brand new update for Jedi Survivor that has just dropped, and more. But before we do take a look at everything that has happened in Star Wars Gaming this week, make sure you do subscribe to this channel so you won't miss any future news updates on things like the KOTOR Remake. So this week, quite a lot happened within Star Wars Gaming and over the past few weeks, but all of this stuff I'm showing in this video didn't really make sense to make an individual video for just that. It would only take like 60 seconds. So I thought I'd bunch everything up together and do a big roundup so you get all of the story with all of the context and more. It's a new format that I'm just trialing to see if you guys like it, but let's get started with an update to the KOTOR Remake. So it has been a few months since we last heard about this game officially, and this now comes in the form of a press release from Saber Interactive, who are developing the remake now following the departure from Aspyr. And a few months ago, they did take themselves away from Embracer's grip, so they bought themselves out, and they are now separate, getting funding from private investment firms, and they basically announced they received further investment from 2 private equity firms. Now, I did read the announcement just to see if there was any mention of the Knights of the Old Republic remake, and I completely glossed over it. I can't believe I missed it. I think it's because I searched for remake and it didn't come up with anything. And that's something very interesting going on here. And then this was noticed by Reddit a few hours after I checked, but they did include Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic in their press release of games they are developing, but no remake. They have omitted the remake word from the name. Now, on one hand, this could mean absolutely nothing. On the other, what if they've decided to completely cut the remake part out and it's just going to be sort of like a canon story, it's a reboot or something along those lines, because it has actually now been just over 3 years since we last heard about it, from outside of CEOs discussing it, basically. Another thing I wanted to call out is that it was the first name on the upcoming games list for the press release. So it says KOTOR, then Jurassic Park Survival, John Carpenter's Toxic Commando, and so on. So it's front and centre. It's the big one they are looking forward to. And in case you don't know, Saber Interactive have just released Space Marine 2, which is doing exceptionally well, very, very well in terms of sales, and it's reviewing well among both critics and players. So they've just had a big win for their company, and now they are going to be continuing to work on this KOTOR remake. They have listed it, it's still in development, it's not dead because people have been speculating, we've not heard anything in about 6 months, is it actually dead? No, it's on this press release, they are working on it. Now Space Marine 2 is out of the door. Maybe, just maybe, we'll see a bit more development, depending. We don't really know what teams are working on what exactly, things like that, so we'll just have to wait and see. I also just wanted to mention that the T3M4 Funko Pop has just been revealed, and that is yet another KOTOR piece of merchandise that has come out since the 20th anniversary a couple of years ago, when the game probably should have actually released. Since then, we've had tons of stuff from statues to more figures and all kinds of things, and it's just so silly that we are getting all of this merchandise, but the remake still has yet to actually release. You know, I think this merchandise would have done so much better if the remake had come out, or at least was announced with a release date and was something that people could actually look forward to, because at this moment in time, we are still in limbo, really. Going from Knights of the Old Republic to the Old Republic, it was announced earlier this week that SWTOR is actually going to be getting a Mac version. The development team have announced that they have been working on for some time now a late model Mac computer version, so there will be a native Mac launcher for SWTOR, and testing, along with technical requirements, will be coming in the next few weeks. I briefly mentioned Aspyr, who did get taken off the KOTOR remake, but they have recently put out the re-release of Star Wars Bounty Hunter, a brand new version that has come to all platforms, and it was very, very good, really. I think many people are very happy with it. They did a great job considering they messed up the Classic Collection. But what I did want to call out here is that they have announced that there will be a physical edition in different versions, so there is just a standard version and then 2 collectible tiers, and they are quite expensive, but they do seem to include some really awesome stuff, and you've only got a couple more weeks to actually get a pre-order in before these end. So if you do want one of these physical copies, definitely get your pre-order in at Limited Run Games. I also wanted to run through the patch notes of a small update that was just released for Jedi Survivor following its launch on last gen this week. So as you may be aware, it came out on Xbox One and PS4 to our surprise. We did not think it would be possible, but it is now out. And basically, Respawn have published a small patch to fix a couple of issues, so this is what the patch notes say. They are calling it hotfix because it's that small. Basically, they fixed trophies for players with version 1.0.1. They've also made pre-order content displaying in-game when players do update to the latest version. They fixed a meditation point on Kobo which did not save progress under certain conditions, along with some animation fixes for Cal, and speaking of Cal, he can no longer interact twice with chest or totems. I'd love to hear your thoughts on anything I've talked about in this video, so please do let me know down in the comment section below, especially on that KOTOR stuff. I find it very intriguing because that trailer is still private on the PlayStation YouTube channel. Honestly, it's so pathetic that we've gone 3 years without anything. They announced it, and all parties involved, Lucasfilm, Disney, PlayStation, Embracer, now Saber and whatnot, how it's just all going down is just so silly, because this is something people have been waiting for so long. We finally got it announced, and it's been virtually silenced for 3 years. I don't care if it's having issues development-wise. Be a little bit transparent with us. It's not fair on the consumers that actually want to pay for this product. There has just been so much going on in Star Wars gaming recently, from this to Outlaws just releasing, and then, like I said, Jedi Survivor on last gen, stuff like that. It's very interesting. It's an interesting time, although we are approaching 2025 with no known release date for any Star Wars game, which isn't great, but we'll see what the next few months have in store for us. If you'd like to see more videos like this, be sure to let me know down in the comment section below as well. And if you enjoyed this video, please do drop a like to help support the channel. Subscribe so you don't miss any future Star Wars gaming news updates. I also want to say, if you want to join my Discord server or support me on Patreon, consider doing so using the links down below in the description. And if you did miss any of my previous videos, click on the playlist on screen right now, and I shall see you in my next video. Goodbye.